Hello KCU fam, this is Josh with Young Library. Today is April 27th, 2020 and it's National Tell a Story Day. So I'm going to give you a baseball story. I grew up a baseball fan of the Tigers and the Reds. As a little kid, I grew up in the greater Detroit area, and then later on I moved to Lexington and just grew up with the sport of baseball and loving the Tigers and the Reds. And my favorite all-time baller is Barry Larkin, so I'm rocking his jersey for this story today. And getting to the story itself, it's called One Throw, written by W.C. Heinz. It was originally published in Collier's magazine. W.C. Heinz' story is a wonderful morality play on the diamond. It's about a highly talented young shortstop who is stuck in the low minors playing for an unfeeling manager. What if he makes a bad throw to goad the manager into shoving him to a higher league? Heinz is the author of the highly acclaimed sports novel, The Professional. Anyways, before we begin the story, there's one thing I think you should know. There is a character that emerges called Eddie Brown, a scout for the Yankees. Well, he was a former professional baseball player in the 1920s. And he finished with a career .308 batting average, which is really amazing for someone with a long career like his, 7-8 year career back at that time frame. So without any further ado, let's get into the story, and hopefully I don't butcher it too bad. I checked into a hotel called the Olympia, which is right on Main Street and the only hotel in town. After lunch, I was hanging around the lobby, and I got to talking to the guy at the desk. I asked him if this wasn't the town that kid Maneri played ball. That's right, the guy said. He's a pretty good ball player. He should be, I said. I read that he was the new Phil Rizzuto. That's what they said, the guy said. What's the matter with him, I said. I mean, if he's such a good ball player, what's he doing in this league? I don't know, the guy said. I guess the Yankees know what they're doing. He's a nice kid. He plays good ball, but I feel sorry for him. I thought he'd be playing for the Yankees soon, and here he is in this town. You can see it's got him down. He lives here in this hotel? That's right, the guy said. Most of the older ball players stay in rooming houses, but Pete and a couple other kids live here. He was leaning on the desk, talking to me and looking across the hotel lobby. He nodded his head. This is a funny thing, he said. Here he comes now. The kid had come through the front door of the street. He had on a light gray sports shirt and a pair of gray flannel slacks. I could see why, when he showed up with the Yankees spring training, he made them all think of Rizzuto. He isn't any bigger than Rizzuto, he just looks like him. Hello, Nick, said the guy at the front desk. Hello, Pete, the guy at the desk said. How's it going today? All right, the kid said, but you could see he was exaggerating. I'm sorry, Pete, the guy at the desk said, but no mail today. That's all right, Nick, the kid said. I'm used to it. Excuse me, I said, but you're Pete Maneri? That's right, the kid said, turning to look at me. Excuse me, the guy at the desk said, introducing us. Pete, this is Mr. Franklin. Harry Franklin, I said. I'm glad to know you, the kid said, shaking my hand. I recognize you from the pictures, I said. Pete's a good ball player, the guy at the desk said. Not very, the kid said. Don't take his word for it, Mr. Franklin, the guy said. I'm a great ball fan, I said to the kid. Do you people play tonight? We play 2 games, the kid said. The first game's at 6 o'clock, the guy at the desk said. They play pretty good ball. I'll be there, I said. I used to play a little ball myself. You did, the kid said. With Columbus, I said. That was 22 years ago. Is that right, the kid said. That's the way I got talking with the kid. They had one of those pine panel tap rooms in the basement of the hotel, so we went down, and I had a couple and the kid had a Coke, and I told him a few stories, and he turned out to be a real good listener. But what do you do now, Mr. Franklin? He said after a while. I sell hardware, I said. I can think of some things I'd like better. I was going to ask you how you like playing in this league. Well, the kid said, I suppose it's all right. I guess I've got no kick coming. Oh, I don't know, I said. I understand you're too good for this league. What are they trying to do to you? I don't know, the kid said. I can't understand it. What's the trouble? Well, the kid said, I don't get along very well here. I mean, there's nothing wrong with my playing. I'm hitting .365 right now. I lead the league in stolen bases. There's nobody can field with me, but who cares? Who manages this ball club? Al Dahl, the kid said. You remember, he played outfield for the Yankees for about 4 years. I remember. Maybe he is all right, the kid said, but I don't get along well with him. He's on my neck all the time. Well, I said, that's the way they are in the minors sometimes. You have to remember the guy is looking out for himself and his ball club first. He's not worried about you. I know that, the kid said. If I get the big hit or make the play, he never says anything. The other night, I tried to take second on a loose ball and got caught in the rundown. He balls me out in front of everybody. There's nothing I can do. Oh, I don't know, I said. There's probably a guy who knows he's got a good thing in for you. He's looking to keep you around. You people lead the league, and that makes him look good. He doesn't want to lose you to Kansas City or the Yankees. That's what I mean, the kid said. When the Yankees sent me down here, they said, don't worry, we'll keep an eye on you. So Dal never sends a good report on me. Nobody ever comes down to look at me. What chance is there for a guy like Eddie Brown or someone like that to come down and see me in this town? You have to remember that Eddie Brown's the big shot, I said, the great Yankee scout. Sure, the kid said. I never even saw him, and I'll never get to see him in this place. I have an idea that if they ever ask Dahl about me, he keeps knocking me down. Why don't you go after Dahl, I said. I had trouble like that once myself, but I figured out a way to get his attention. You did? The kid said. I threw a couple balls over the first baseman's head. I said, I threw a couple of games away, and that really got the manager sore. I was lousing up his ball club and his record. So what does he do? He blows the whistle on me. And what happens? That gets the brass curious, and they send down someone to see what's wrong. Is that so? The kid said. What happened? 2 weeks later, I said, I was up in Columbus. Is that right? The kid said. Sure, I said, egging him on. What have you got to lose? Nothing, the kid said. I haven't got anything to lose. I'd try it, I said. I might try it, the kid said. I might try it tonight if the spot comes up. I could see from the way he said it that he was madder than he'd said. Maybe you think this is mean to steam up a kid like this, but I do some strange things. Take over, I said. Don't let this guy ruin your career. I'll try it, the kid said. You coming out to the park tonight? I wouldn't miss it, I said. This will be better than making out the route sheets and the sales orders. It's not much of a ballpark in this town. Old wooden bleachers and an old wooden fence and about 400 people in the stands. The first game wasn't much either, with the home club winning something like 8-1. The kid didn't have any hard chances, but I could see he was a ball player, with a double and a couple walks and a lot of speed. The second game was different, though. The other club got a couple of runs, and then the home club picked up 3 runs and won, and they were at the top of the ninth with a 3-2 lead and 2 outs when the pitching began to fall apart and they loaded the bases. I was trying to wish the ball down to the kid, just to see what he'd do with it, when the batter drives one in on a one bounce and to the kid's right. The kid was off for it when the ball started. He made a backhanded stab and grabbed it. He was deep now, and he turned in the air and fired. If it goes over the first baseman's head, it's 2 runs. 2 runs in, and a panic. But it's the prettiest throw you'd ever want to see. It's right on a line, and the runner is out by a step, and it's the ball game. I walked back to the hotel thinking about the kid. I sat around the lobby until I see him coming in, and then I walked toward the elevator like I was going to my room. But so I'd meet him. And I could see he didn't want to talk. How about a Coke, I said. Nah, he said. Thanks, but I'm going to bed. Look, I said, forget it. You did the right thing. Have a Coke. We were sitting in the tap room again. The kid wasn't saying anything. Why didn't you throw that ball away, I said. I don't know, the kid said. I had it in my mind before he hit it, but I couldn't. Why? I don't know why. I know why, I said. The kid didn't say anything. He just sat there looking. Do you know why you couldn't throw that ball away, I said. No, the kid said. You couldn't throw that ball away, I said, because you're going to be a Major League Baseball player one day. The kid just looked at me. He had the same sore expression. Do you know why you're going to be a Major League ball player, I said. The kid was just looking down again, shaking his head. I never got more of a kick out of anything in my life. You're going to be a Major League ball player, I said, because you couldn't throw the ball away. And because I'm not a hardware salesman and my name is not Harry Franklin. What do you mean, the kid said. I mean, I explained to him, that I tried to needle you into throwing that ball away because I am Eddie Brown, the great Yankee scout. I hope you enjoyed that video today, KCU. And anyone else who may watch outside of our KCU family, I appreciate you tuning in. Sorry for butchering some of the story there in the middle. My oral reading is a little rusty. I'll try to shake some of that off in the future and give you a better presentation. Anyways, have a great day.